This video was supposed to be a very easy and straightforward vlog where I show you a really interesting thrift store. I go to It's a Wrap here in Los Angeles, California. Oh, the best laid plans of mice and morons, because this video is not that anymore.
What kind of a nitwit are you anyway?
Not even sure what this video is going to be.
It's been a comedy, a drama, and a farce.
Other than the fact that I've done a lot of research at this point on a topic no one is gonna care about.
Sensational costumes. Maybe.
The whole thing started when I saw my internet friend Brandon Johnston posted to his Instagram story that there were old costumes from Warner Brothers.
The Warner sister died.
At It's a Wrap. It's a Wrap is a thrift store in Los Angeles that exclusively works with old movie costumes that the studios don't need. Now, most of them are modern. As a matter of fact, everything at that store was basically from Mean Girls, the musical movie. But there was something from vintage Warner Brothers archives, so I really want to see that. It's on the second floor, so we are going straight there. Then we're gonna look around. Okay, it's here. Look at it. I love it.
Then let's go up to my room and you can try on that costume. Okay.
Okay, the bad news is she doesn't actually fit. If she did, I would be getting her absolutely. She's $80. Do I have $80? No.
The root of all evil.
Do I wish I had $80? Yes.
The life could be sunny with plenty of money.
Would I find $80 somehow to buy this? Yeah.
There's a lot of things.
There is a lot of stuff from Warner Brothers
The Warner sister died.
at It's a Wrap right now. It's obvious they've just done a massive warehouse clean, but there was only one piece with the vintage 1950s style tag.
Gay in the bowl.
It also had this tag from I Imagine & Co., which meant it was purchased, so I was going, oh, this was really a piece only worn by an extra. It's not something special. Let it go, release. And then I saw there was a 50% off sale, so I run up to the counter and I throw it down. I thought it was marked down to 40 for a second, but it wasn't. It doesn't go on sale until next week. So... gonna be something that haunts me that I didn't get it, but you know what? I can't get everything, and that's okay. I get home, I'm a little bummed, but I'm feeling good about my fiscal responsibility.
I don't care anymore. Just pay.
And then I decide I'm gonna look up the name that was written on that little ribbon tag. P. Wymore. Turns out it's Patrice Wymore, Errol Flynn's third wife. Now, at this point, I didn't know much of anything about Errol Flynn other than the name Errol Flynn, that he was Robin Hood in an old movie, and the saying, in like Flynn. As I was scrolling through her filmography, I was seeing this woman starred alongside some of the biggest people in Hollywood at the time, and yet her career didn't go anywhere. What happened? Patrice's first movie was T for Two.
It's tea for two.
With Doris Day, where she was playing a supporting character. Patrice was under contract at Warner Brothers.
And the Warner sister died.
And they gave her a starring role in her second picture. 1950s Rocky Mountain, which is where she starred alongside and met her future husband, Errol Flynn. Just looking at the photos I had taken of the blazer, going, could this have been used in Rocky Mountain? Yes, it was purchased new. Yes, it is very 1950s, but it kind of has a Western flair. And for these B-list movies, would they have done something like that? Probably. It wasn't. Next two movies were Doris Day movies. The first one was I'll Be Seeing You in My Dreams, which also starred Danny Thomas, which is most infamously known for Doris Day doing blackface in that movie. Next movie was Starlet,
Starlet, the motion picture that will give your heart a lift.
which is one of those convoluted early 1950s movies that were basically done to showcase all the stars under one roof. One notable thing about this movie, and it is not the almost clip show-like strung together convoluted plot, it is where Patrice met her lifelong friend, Virginia Mayo. We will get back to her. It is quite apparent Warner Brothers
And the Warner sister died.
Just trying to create a bankable starlet, and they want that to be Patrice. They're pushing her out there. They're getting her photos. She's working alongside stars. She's working alongside Kirk Douglas. And then they kind of get mad at her because she was supposed to make Errol Flynn's bad behavior better.
Oh, I know, Romeo. I'd like for you to.
So instead of blaming the man, they start to blame her.
Ain't it a shame? And you're to blame.
Side tangent about Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn was a piece of shit. Other side tangent, a lot of people talk about Patrice as if she was this girl's girl, and they point to her friendship with Virginia Mayo. Now, I personally don't view her as a girl's girl because I don't think girls marry men who are accused of statutory rape.
Let me go!
The famous colloquial term, in like Flynn, is not just a cute little rhyme. It is talking about how he got off at trial when he was accused credibly of graping a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old. Because they stacked the jury with 8 women who were fans of Errol Flynn.
Trick of the outlaws!
Because those women on the jury also weren't girls. The 15-year-old had had an abortion, so they were using that as a sign that she's a slut. Because you can't grape a slut. That was basically the legal defense that got him off, and that got us the saying, in like Flynn. Now, Warner Brothers
The Warner sister died.
was expecting the 23-year-old Patrice to be in charge of the 41-year-old Errol's actions, despite 2 other wives not being able to control his appetites and proclivities.
The gay and the bold.
And drinking and partying and drugs.
The best champagne for him and his friends.
I just happen to have a couple bottles in the oven.
She was not a bankable star and he was a bankable star. They started punishing her by taking away all roles.
Last year I was starred.
Which is where her girls friendship with Virginia Mayo comes in and the movie that this costume is from. She's working her way through college, starring Virginia Mayo and Ronald Reagan of President fame. I did not figure out what movie this costume was from. My friend, the vintage costume collector, on Instagram did. I don't know how he did it. It had something to do with the numbers on the tag. I don't understand these things. I'm just pretty. This movie musical is one of those movie musicals that you kind of understand people who don't like musicals because it is just a bunch of strung together musical numbers with a vague plot to carry it all together.
Promise not to always make an entrance to music.
And that vague plot is Virginia Mayo is a successful burlesque dancer, which makes her a whore because it's 1952.
After tonight, I'm through with burlesque. I only went in it to earn enough money to go to college.
But she wants to give up being a whore, and she goes back to college with Ronald Reagan, her former high school teacher who's now teaching at this college.
I didn't know which college to go to, but now I know it's going to be Midwest State.
And mean girl Patrice is bullying her and exposes the fact that she's a whore, but we're rooting for that whore because she gave up whoring to go to college.
Burlesque queen has no place on this campus.
Education is the inalienable right of every American.
The jacket from It's a Wrap was used in this movie for all of 11 seconds, is worn under a red coat, and can be seen
I know I've seen her someplace before.
barely. We're not even sure if it was actually used in the movie, if we're being honest.
Let's go.
What do we come out here for?
So you could practice driving. Drive.
1953 was when Patrice and Errol had their one and only child, a daughter, Arnella. For the next few years, Patrice tried to get roles, but it was very clear the studio did not see her as a bankable starlet in the future.
I don't think you're being quite fair.
As a matter of fact, the biggest thing to come her way in this time was her appearing on Errol Flynn's TV show, because yes, they gave him a show, but she was punished for marrying him. Because, yeah.
When I go down on one knee, I lose half my charm.
Somewhere in all of this, Patrice, Errol, and their daughter moved to Jamaica. Now, Patrice and Errol were married
Do you mean you signed my marriage contract?
until Errol Flynn's death in 1959 when he died at the age of 50. But they were legally separated at some point.
I'm tired of chasing those smoke rings of yours. I'm staying here, and I'm looking out for me.
Because Errol was shacking up with his 15-year-old girlfriend. In 1960, Patrice was in the Ocean's 11 movie where she worked with her friend Frank Sinatra.
And what are you doing back with your wife?
For the next 7 years, Patrice continued to act in one-off television appearances. One of them was The Monkees.
You may not remember about us.
Your intuition is faultless.
And that appearance in The Monkees is why my mother told me to go back and buy the blazer. Just knowing what movie it was from, and after dedicating so much time to this story in my researching, I knew I needed it. So turns out I'm a liar. It's the next day. I'm parked outside. It's a wrap because apparently I cannot live without that jacket. Gonna be standing outside waiting for them to open up in 10 minutes. I spent an hour wandering around the store trying to find it. I had just given up hope and I found it. Here it is.
I wore it to a costume party.
Jacket is in overall good condition. There's some sun fading on the sides of the sleeves where for the last 60 years it was hanging. It was used for a modern production because there is an inked out modern barcode that was put inside the collar. Here is my dilemma because I don't want to be a Kim Kardashian.
Should we sing Hallelujah?
Even though this is in no way of the same caliber as the Happy Birthday Mr. President dress. This blazer was heavily altered to fit Patrice in that 7 seconds of a movie no one cares about. And if I picked out those seams, I'm 99% sure it would fit me. If it didn't, I could always add those seams back because there will always be telltale signs of that. As a matter of fact, one of them has already popped out naturally because the thread is just kind of rotting. A more up-close look at the blazer. I love in old Hollywood pieces how they would add these hook and eye closures to make sure they didn't pop open on these heavily tailored garments. You can see that this piece was taken in not once but twice to make sure it was optimally tailored. Over here where the thread was rotted and popped out, you can clearly see where it was taken in. I love the history behind this blazer, and I think it is so unique and so gorgeous. The dark wash denim fabric with the bric-a-brac stitching is just so scrumptious. I fell in love with it before I knew the history of it, and I genuinely would like to be able to wear this piece occasionally. And considering half of the stitching already rotted away and popped out, and the other half is rotting away, only on the areas where it was tailored already, I think I'm gonna take those out so I can try it on. Please don't hate me if you feel I'm making the very wrong decision. This was used in a movie no one has heard of, starring a woman no one has heard of.
Really?
And seen on screen. Maybe it was used on screen. I think this is okay. I have a seam ripper, but a lot of times I actually like to use these dental floss picks because they're less pokey, and when I'm worried about puncturing the fabric or harming it, I just think this is much safer.
Let me take your coat.
It's your coat.
If it doesn't fit, I'm not going to the Met.
It fits. It fits really, really well. Oh my gosh. I paired it with this vintage skirt. I love her. I think she is gorgeous. I don't have the best mobility in it, but it fits and it fastens, and I am obsessed. I've always loved this Dior New Look kind of blazer. This is the most expensive piece of clothing I own and the piece in the worst condition. So that is an interesting shift for me. I Also want everyone to know I can put the seams right back in. I am beyond happy having this gorgeous piece of vintage and Hollywood history in my collection.
Let's go.
And wardrobe. The back. All right, my strange little onions. I love you. Have a hug, a cookie, and a juice box. And let me know what you think of this story and this blazer.
Drive.
Okay.